Cuffs are off, man. Get right. Too many left in these leagues, but I ain't gonna leave. I'ma get right. Get right. Down to the bottom and scratch it for all the.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up, everybody? It's Marcus Grant.
This is AJ Dillon of the Green Bay Packers.
I got to give a shout out to y'all at Get Right Fantasy.
If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Our league. Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Best of luck with your podcast. Appreciate the support.
And you're tuned in to watch my boys at Get Right Fantasy Network. Get you right. Enjoy the show.
But I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, go and roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down, cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right, cause I roll my sleeves.
Oh. What up? What up? What up, world? Welcome back. This is the Get Right Fantasy Network with me, Mike Herrick, aka Classic Mike, and this is your Week 9 active and inactive show. I'll be going over the news since our Friday show, then at 11:30 a.m. or when the news comes out. I'll give it to you guys as soon as we get the actives and inactives for the 1 p.m. games. So I'll have a whole list of that as we go. If you have any start-sit questions leading up, make sure to put it in the chat. I will try to get to them as soon as possible. We also have super chats on for immediate responses. I will stop the show and answer all your questions right then and there for you. But go ahead and drop your questions. I'll try to get them as we go, but be sure to include your league size and the type of scoring. So PPR, tight end premium, league size, all that fun stuff, just so I can give you your best answer. If I don't have that information, it's kind of hard to give you a good response. Also, make sure you guys are checking out, if you're new to the channel, we are here 7 days a week. We even just started this. We're going to update this soon. But we had Cody and Zach start their new show with the Sweet Life. So make sure you guys check out this schedule right here and also add Saturday to that particular grouping. We'll be here 7 days a week. Make sure you guys check us back out tomorrow. We're going to have our waiver wire ads after all the games have gone. So make sure you guys check that out. Also, make sure you guys are checking out our other affiliate podcasts. Like I said, we have the Fantasy Football Tavern with my buddy Kendall, who I do the show with on Fridays, as well as the Extra Point with Phil Ruskin. He also has his show on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And, of course, Tycoon in the Fantasy Boardroom on Tuesdays. All righty. So we have, oh, look at that. Perry Williams intro's fire, brother. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. Smokey the Cat, what's up? Should I flex Keenan or Bucky? Higgins out again. I'm a little nervous about Bucky. He's been playing through injury, so that's my only caveat to that is if you have Bucky, you might be stuck with him. And if you don't have a backup option, you're kind of screwed. Because if you don't have a guy like Sean Tucker or a guy like Carson Steele or someone like that on that Monday night game, and he's listed as out, you're kind of screwed. Keenan might be a good play today against the Cardinals, but I wouldn't expect as much as someone like, in this case, Bucky. I think Bucky is a much better play overall, but it's just a scary play. Just have some type of, backup. Joe Ortiz in the house. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Smokey going. Any touchdown parlays this week? I mean, you can't go wrong with the Kyron Williams. He's on a touchdown streak. They want to continue that for sure. Another one I might like is Taysom Hill. Just feels like a Taysom Hill day for some reason. Another guy, who do I like? Josh Downs, another touchdown guy on Sunday Night Football. Those are probably three that I would load up at this point. Perry going, I'm locked for the playoffs. Would you drop Jordan Mason for either Pittman, Downs, Waddle, or Stevenson? 8-man league, mainly should I go ahead and drop Mason? Question. So I think you can for those guys. I think Downs is probably your best bet now with Flacco at the helm. If you need running back, I would probably do. I would probably go Stevenson, and I'm okay with that. But if you are good at running back at this point, and you don't really need running back help, yeah, Downs might be your better bet overall. I don't hate Waddle. I'm not. I've never really been a Waddle fan to begin with. With Tyreek there, I know that they can both eat with Tua at the helm, but I prefer Downs in this particular scenario. He's just been on fire the last few weeks. So Neanderthal, my opponent this week. How you doing, brother? Morning, morning, everyone. What up, Mike? What's going on, brother? Dude's a thorn. I'm trying to figure out who you're talking about. There, Joe. Hey, Wormy. Hey, Mikey, don't kill Puka this week. So I'm facing Worm in my Dynasty League this week. Me and him had a trade for Puka, and after I traded for Puka, he's just been injured, and I traded him Barkley, and Barkley has been going off. So he is reaping. Well, I don't know if he's reaping the benefits because he's 2-5, but or no, 2-6 now, 3-6. Who cares? Bottom of the barrel. So thoughts on Dottle with Zeke out? Load him up. I mean, Zeke being out is huge. Dalvin Cook isn't going to do anything. They're going to lean on Dottle. If it's not a horrible matchup against the Falcons. Falcons are still, they're pretty decent defense overall. I've always, I told people at the beginning of the year I thought they were a good defense. They're 15th right now against the running backs, so they're middle of the road. So yeah, and never worry about profanity here, my friend. I have no problem with that at all. So Perry goes, I'm mainly just scared to drop Mason, but if I'm making the playoffs and he's splitting, why keep him? Because CMC gets injured. This league has 4 bench spots, and I didn't hate it. Yeah, I mean, that's the other, I didn't know that it was 4. If it was like 6, I would just keep him on your bench, but I would just drop them. You need guys that are going to be able to play. And if you're short at running back, like I said, Stevenson might be your better bet. But Downs is definitely, if it's a full PPR league, go with Downs, and you'll be fine in putting him in the, wide receiver or flex, any given week. So I like that a lot. I'm getting some news here, but nothing crazy. This is the early portion, pregame workout. He never really opened it up. Okay. So I'm getting word that there's a probability of something happening. So let me get into my particular news and notes for today about what's going on around the league. Right now, players that are already ruled out, we already know guys like Marshawn Lattimore for the Saints. Bub Means, Kendrick Miller is now on IR. Micah Parsons is out for the Cowboys. We got Tajay Spears, Ladarius Sneed from the Titans. Dallas Goedert is out today. Noah Fant, DK Metcalf is going to be out as well. Also, Jamal Williams is going to be out for the Saints. So Saints are a little bit beat up today, but they are getting back Derek Carr. Zach Moss was officially ruled out this morning, so he will not play today. John Harbaugh talked today about Deontay Johnson. He is going to play about 10 to 15 snaps in this particular debut, which is pretty normal. We saw that with Amari Cooper and DeAndre Hopkins in the weeks prior. So we'll probably see how he goes. Marlon Humphrey is expected to be also on a pitch count. He will play, but that doesn't bode well for that secondary either way. I mean, he's probably their best option, but if he's in and out of the game, that's going to be rough. Mason Rudolph looks like he's going to be getting the start today versus the Patriots. Will Levis is still working on his shoulder injury, but I think they like what Mason did last week, and I think they're going to continue to roll with him until they have an excuse. Tony Pollard is currently a game time decision. Now, let me break this down for you. Titans did sign Josh Kelly to their to their roster today. So normally that sign could mean that they're out, but news this morning said that Tony Pollard will play today. We'll wait and see how that goes. I want to wait and see for these active and inactives. I hate, all the unknown leading up, especially with running back, and they don't really have anybody behind him. Julius Chestnut is the next one behind him since Tajay Spears is going to be out today. For the Jaguars, Jaguars have a lot of injuries to deal with. Brian Thomas Jr. with the chest injury, Tank Bigsby, and Gabe Davis as well. Right now, the Jaguars announced that they moved up 2 wide receivers to their active roster for the game. Despite that particular news, it looks like Brian Thomas Jr., Tank Bigsby, and Travis Etienne are all expected to play. There is less optimism about Gabe Davis. So at least, 2 of the 3 are playing, barring the chest injury, which originally they were saying it's going to be 2 to 3 weeks. Then they changed it to day. A little nervous about it, but he's been on fire lately. It's hard. I understand in some situations, a lot of people are going to not want to sit him. This is a 4:00 game, so you need to be ready just in case, he tweaks something or something happens in pregame warmup. Next is Puka Nacua. Now, Marcus, I see your question with would you start Puka? This is a tough one for me. So, reports this morning, Rams are expected to have Puka Nacua on the field tomorrow against the Seattle despite his knee injury. According to sources, he's on the plane with the team, and he's going to try to play. Now, they emphasized in the report, try to play. I'm a little nervous about it. But from what I'm getting, I'm just getting some reports from like Underdog NFL, Peter Schrager. He's saying Puka Nacua will play today. It's kind of hard to say not play Puka, especially after last week when they said that, he would be on a snap count and then, all these different things. And he ended up having a really good day. He's a tough dude. It's hard not to play him in this, particular situation. I might have to. Like, I'm in a situation where I have Puka Nacua and Sam Laporta that are, 2 options. And it's kind of hard for me not to play it, but re-aggravation is definitely there. They said there's no structural issues or anything like that. They didn't really go into a full account on how it happened or what happened. So it's a little nerve-wracking to know what, exactly what's going on here. If you have a better option, I might roll with it, but it's rare that you're going to have, your second round pick or first round pick be a better option. You know what I mean? Like, there's no one below that that I would probably play, and it's a very, very small list that I would. So in this case, I might be starting Puka, but we'll wait and see. I have Worm watching. I'm gonna have him wait and see what I do here. But otherwise, Calvin Ridley or Tillman, man, I love Tillman. I really do. I really like his particular production. Looking prior to this for full PPR, I mean, lost the Chargers are number 1 against the wide receiver this year, only letting up 24 fantasy points per game, which is for both receivers, not for just one. So in this particular case, they're ranked 4th in the red zone. They are a low caliber defense, but they are playing well against the wide receiver this year. Asante Samuel Jr. is a very good corner. That's a tough one for me. Ridley is going against a very porous defense in the Patriots. Patriots are 23rd again or 21st against the wide receiver. So I'd feel a little bit better about Ridley, especially after last week. Really liked what they did overall with him and how they got him involved. I mean, he had career highs and a ton of numbers, which of course they might not be able to double that, but I do think that be able to break that. But I do think that for his ceiling, it's a good play. So I think I'm going to go Ridley here. But I really do like Tillman a lot. A couple little bit of extra news, and then I'll get to your questions. Don't worry, I see you there, Patrick. Xavier Legette is expected to play today with his toe injury. Now, remember, he is the lead wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. Marcus Lattimore is out for this game. I really do like Xavier Legette in this particular matchup overall. So I'm glad that Xavier Legette is playing today. Zeke Elliott did not travel with the team today, as we talked about 2 minutes ago. Based on all the reports, it's disciplinary issues. Apparently, he's been he's been slacking the last few weeks, not reporting to meetings and so on and so forth. So reports this morning said that he missed the team meeting, and then recently he missed the Friday meeting, which kind of was the straw that broke the camel's back. So he is going to be out. Now, I will say they just had reports come in 2 minutes ago about certain things involving Brian Robinson Jr. He didn't really open it up. They said that he didn't look great. I'm looking at a video right now of him. He doesn't really look enthusiastic or, thinking that he might play. I mean, it's very unknown. It doesn't look like, they're really pushing him. He's just doing a couple of things like stretching, and he just didn't look right. So I guess that optimism of him possibly playing is probably not going to happen at this point. So, so it looks like Tremaine Burton is not going to play today for the Bengals. Apparently, they've soured on him in recent weeks. So he will likely be a last-minute scratch. So just be aware of that. Trayvon Diggs is going to be active today for the Cowboys. He looks good in his pregame workout. So know that. I already said Jamal Williams is listed as doubtful. He'll probably be out. And Juju Smith-Schuster was already ruled out for Monday Night Football. So let me get back to your questions. Patrick Lario, always a pleasure, my friend. He goes, yo, Big Blue. So pick 2. Kraft, Ertz, McMillan, Legette, or Bigsby. That is dependent if ETN goes. Started 5-0. I just dropped 3 straight, and I'm playing first place. Guy, I need a win badly. So picking 2 out of this, or Dunze. Okay. I do like Legette in this matchup, considering your particular options. Bigsby's banged up, could re-aggravate. So I do like Legette here. The other one is probably, I want to lean Kraft. That game's going to be a little sloppy. It's going to be 50-mile-an-hour winds with rain throughout. So that game might be a little difficult for me. I don't mind the Bigsby play. I don't mind ETN either being there. They've really kind of faded him out. But the McMillan I don't like. I do like Legette. Yeah, I'm going to go Legette and Bigsby here for that. If it's tight end premium, I would probably try to, throw in Kraft, but I like Legette and Bigsby here. Tyler goes, Reed or Coleman, Otten or Ferguson. Nice. Man, Ferguson, I've been very disappointed with him lately. I haven't seen. Okay, so right now, Falcons are 22nd against the tight end. Otten going against the Chiefs. Chiefs are actually worse against the tight end. I think I'm going to go Otten here. He's been heavily used since all the guys have gone down with Godwin and Evans. I really like Otten moving forward in general. I've always been a fan. So I'm going to go Otten here. I really do like Otten. Reeder Coleman, this one becomes a little bit difficult. Jordan Love is going to play. They already said that he will play. I do like him better with Love. They're going to probably use him a little bit more short yardage today and, quick screens and things like that, just because of the weather and how things are, going to be. So I do like Reed a little bit. Coleman is a very I like Coleman too, so this makes it difficult. I think I'm going to go with Reed here. Yeah, I'm going to go Reed. Kicker, Santos, Dicker, or Sanders. Okay. Probably going to lean Dicker, but they're outdoors. Sanders is at Orchard Park. Santos is indoors. I'm going to go Santos. 9 times out of 10 this time of year, I'm going to probably lean the kicker that's going to be indoors on a decent offense. Bears can, this game is pretty even overall. So, with the 1.5 means it's going to be tight. Good defensive battle overall, which means that they could probably, a lot of drives might stall out around the 30. Kick it indoors on a grass field. I'll take Santos. Andrew, what's going on, man? Wait. Breaking news. Brian Robinson is inactive. So Brian Robinson will be inactive today. So be aware of that with your questions. Brian Robinson is inactive today with the hamstring injury. He will not play. So that's huge news right now. So just be aware of that. If you have Brian Robinson in your lineup, yank him out. He is going to be inactive today. Austin Eckler and Chris Rodriguez are probably going to be the guys. Like I said at the beginning of the show, they did bring up Chris Rodriguez, which is a normal signs usually tell. Like when they bring up guys for certain situations like that, it means that they are probably not going to play or they're preparing for the guy not to play. So just be aware of that. Let me get some other news. All right. So Andrew goes, just traded Nick Chubb, Romeo Dobbs, and Braylon Allen for T. Higgins and Jordan Addison. Oh, and Dontavius Wicks. Did I win? That's a great question. You just traded for a injured wide receiver, which is not always the best idea. I don't know if you won the trade. I have to see your whole team and how it worked out. 3 for 3 is usually a good bet. You did in this case get 3 wide receivers and traded away a lead running back and a backup running back. I don't know if you won that trade overall. I like the Chubb, Dobbs, and Allen side just a smidge more because of the handcuff that you're giving up. If Hall was the, if the owner you traded with had Hall, I understand why they did this trade or wanted this trade. For you, otherwise, I mean, you did gain some depth at wide receiver. So if you're weak at wide receiver, this is great for you. But if not, I mean, it seems like you are, you have decent depth if, Dobbs is your one of your key pieces to let go. So, yeah, I don't think you won the trade, but I think it's a pretty fair trade. Hood 1701, what's going on, brother? He goes, do you like Leggett enough to start him over Shakir or Stevenson in half PPR? Half PPR, I tend to lean the running back a little bit more. It's just because they're more guaranteed the touch. I just feel a lot safer with plays like that. Tennessee has fallen to 19th best against the running back. I think overall, I would probably play Stevenson. I do like Leggett a lot today, just because Marcus Lattimore being out, their narrative being at, the Saints being 7-point favorites in that game. The Titans game, 38 point, the 38 point overall over under is a little nerve wracking because they're expecting low scoring in this game, which means Stevenson would need to be the guy that scores. So you're hoping for that. That's a really tough one for me. Like I said, I'd probably lean Stevenson though, just for the guarantee. And he's not injured. So I think I'm going to go Stevenson here. Pollard or Dobbins? I'm going Dobbins just because he's healthy. Pollard, we are unsure of, and we'll know in about 5 minutes if he will be playing or not. But I'm going to lean Dobbins either way. Higher over under for that particular game, if memory serves me. Hold on. Yeah, higher over under. Tougher matchup overall, but I would probably play Pollard. Sorry, Dobbins here. My bad. Dobbins. Marvin Allen, what's going on, Marvin? He goes Kincaid or Taysom Hill, DeAndre or Shakir. So Shakir, I don't hate today. I would probably play him in this particular scenario. We're still waiting to see how DeAndre gets involved in this particular offense. He did get an extra day overall to kind of get acclimated with everything. Ooh, Amari Cooper is inactive today. Amari Cooper is going to be inactive today with his wrist injury. So you're playing Shakir. You're definitely playing Shakir. Just know that. Wow. Buddy of mine, he's got Brian Robinson and Cooper. So that's going to be a tough one for him. As for the Taysom Hill and Kincaid, I think I'm rolling Taysom Hill today. I just have a feeling. I got a feeling. The matchup's good. Jamal Williams is out. They're going to be using Taysom more as a running back. My assumption. Kendrick Miller also being out is another reason why I feel a little bit better about that particular scenario. Also, just Panthers are a bad offense. The narrative shows that they're going to be running or ahead most of the time. 43 point over under means the Saints are favored in points here. I mean, it's a 2-6 team going against a 1-7 team. So I'm still going to go with Taysom here just because they're going to involve him as much as possible. I really do like Taysom. Patrick Lario goes Ertz or Kraft at the tight end also. Man, that's a tough one. I might go Kraft, but it's hard not to play it's very hard to not play a tight end versus the Giants. But Giants have been better against the tight end this year. Fourth best against the tight end. Yeah, I think I'm still going to go. Well, okay. If you're going fourth best or second best, because Lions are second best, maybe I got to go with Kraft here. Kraft has been heavily involved in doing well. And also for good, tell you it's only 2 spots, my tight end spot, 1 flex because other flex I have Jacobs. So pick 1 for flex out of those guys for the and 1 for the tight end. So yeah, Kraft I'd play and Leggett. Yeah. And then Bigsby if you can throw Bigsby in. Getting actives and inactives right at the moment. So don't worry, those in the chat. I will get to you very, very shortly. I see you there. Kyle Singer, you'll be next. Just give me a minute to get through these actives and inactives, and I got you. Inactives today, DJ Chark is going to be inactive for the Chargers. He was reactivated off of IR, but he is not going to be playing today. So just be aware of that. I know a lot of people probably aren't going to be playing him. But just be aware. I'm getting news also about the Colts have, a lot of teams have inquired about Anthony Richardson, and they view Richardson as a franchise caliber quarterback and think Indy pulling him after 10 regular season starts was premature. So a lot of people are calling about him and seeing what they can get. I don't blame them. Kyler Singer, he goes full PPR, Love or Cousins? I'm going to go Cousins. Dobbs or McMillan? I'm going to go Dobbs. Bengals or Chargers? Thanks, guys. Worried about the reigning Green Bay. Me too. But I think Dobbs can be okay in that particular matchup. McMillan's really tough to gauge in that particular offense. McDuffie's there. He's newly a wide receiver 1. So I'm still going to lean Dobbs just because he's a better option. Defense wise, I'd probably lean the Bengals. Chargers look a lot better in Browns look better in recent weeks with Winston. Chargers are a good defense overall this year, but I do like the Bengals against the Raiders. Perry goes, I think I'm the only guy that thinks Pittman becomes an alpha again. Think he has top 15 wide receiver rest of the season. Maybe, but I think Josh Downs is a better option overall. Flacco helped Amari Cooper a ton Flacco as a whole is going to make that offense better. Just because they'll have Jonathan Taylor who's able to run the ball so he can lean on Taylor when needed. Teams then have to respect the pass and then are off the line. So that only helps Jonathan Taylor, but it also helps Flacco because they have to respect both sides of the ball. So overall, I do think he could be, but I think Josh Downs is going to take that role overall. So more actives and inactives coming through. Like I said, Brian Robinson Jr. is out today. Take him out of your offense or out of your particular lineup. Javon Holland is going to be inactive today as well for the Dolphins. That's big news for their secondary. Well, big news for the opposing secondary with the Bills. Trayvon Diggs is active today. And Zeke Elliott, we already know Parsons is going to be out as well. Saints inactives, Jamal Williams, like I said, Marshawn Lattimore is going to be out today. Spencer Rattler has been knocked down to emergency third QB. Will Levis is out today. Tajay Spears. It looks like they don't have Pollard inactive, so Pollard is active today. But I would be cautious with Pollard unless you have better options. I would probably not play him. Mari Cooper out for the Bills against the Dolphins. Who else? No one else really of note for the Bills. Jermaine Burton, we already heard, is going to be inactive today. He's a healthy scratch. Apparently there was an issue with Burton, so they will be talking about it at the end of the game. So that means something really bad happened. Sorry about that, guys. Hope everyone likes my, what is this? Awala. My wife gave this to me. Has all the Scotty Fishbowl stuff on it. Shout out to Scotty Fish and all them over there. Always love their sticker collection. T. Higgins is inactive today as well as Zach Moss. We already kind of knew that. Orlando Brown is going to be out as well. We already got that. Traquan Thornton and J.K. Osborne are going to be out today for the Patriots. That might be good news for Demario Douglas. That might be a great play today. Demario Douglas. Yeah. Wow. I would be moving. I'm going to probably move him up a little bit with Snead being out today. Tony Pollard is active for the Titans today. So Tony Pollard is active. Just be cautious. I'm telling you. He was very, very game time questionable in this particular matchup. Tyler Boyd is also active. I doubt you're playing him, but he is active today. Deontay Foreman is inactive for the Browns. So that means Chubb and Pierre Strong and Ford are going to be there today. Anybody else that I see in these reports? No one. Leggett is active today. Zeke is out. We already knew that. Amari Cooper is out today. So the big news is Amari Cooper and Brian Robinson Jr. are going to both be out today. Let me see. Broncos don't have anybody crazy out that we're aware of. And that's about it. So Marvin Allen, what's going on, brother? He goes, Kincaid or Taysom Hill? Oh, we already had this question. I'm sorry. Sometimes I forget those. Okay, change of question. Keenan or Eckler? I'm going to go Eckler. Always going to go with the running back when it comes to PPR or half PPR. Sometimes full, especially with Eckler being a pass catcher. I'm going to go Eckler here. So Perry goes, that's crazy because Dan Quinn said he looks great and ready to go with everybody today. That's my whole point. You can't always listen to what they tell you. They can tell me 100 times that Puka is going to be active, but I need to know that he's been a part of the workout. I need to know that he's been, I need to see it to be a little bit better about it. But yeah, they said at 10 o'clock he looked good. So it's a little disheartening, but it's good to know at least you have a couple hours to kind of get everything situated. Andrew goes, my team now will be CD, Taylor, Walker, Laporta, Hopkins, Higgins, with everyone healthy. Hold on one sec. Just getting news for a buddy of mine. He is, they just got news that Deontay Johnson is active today, which is good news. So let me just send this real quick. Sorry, let me get back into this. CD, Chase, Taylor, Walker, Laporta, Hopkins, Higgins, with everyone healthy. Yeah, no, that makes sense then. I have no problem with that then. I didn't realize that he had so much power at the top. So yeah, that's probably a good trade for you. Ugly choices, but got no running backs since Robinson is out. Justice Hill or Antonio Gibson. I like Hill a little bit more, and here's why. That Denver game is sneaky to me. The Denver defense has been a lot better as of late. It's a 9-point favored in the Ravens' favor. If this gets out of hand, so I'll go both ways. If it gets out of hand, Justice Hill will get used a lot more. If this doesn't get out of hand and it becomes one of those negative game script games, Justice Hill will be very involved. So I think in this particular case, I'm going to go Justice Hill, especially in full PPR. I'm going to go with Justice Hill. Andrew goes, I fleeced a guy for CD early in the season and just have made good decisions the whole season. That is a 12-team. Holy shit. Good for you. I'll take it, man. When we get these things at face value, I can sit here and go, oh, that's an 18 team. I would not think that in 100 years. But honestly, good for you to make that trade. I'm trying for CD right now to have a really good receiving core moving forward, but I'm waiting for the manager to be a little bit more, what's the word? Willing to do it. Our league has a last place rule with basically the last place team has to pay third place's entry fee next season. And our buy-in is $300. So that's $600 that you have to pay to get in. So it gives you a incentive to not trade away your whole team throughout the season. So you basically have to get up to roughly the trade deadline, like most teams do, know where you're at, and then go, oh, am I going to sell or am I going to, try to fight to get out? And we have a pretty competitive league overall. So right now, everybody's, could be at the bottom at one point, but he's got to figure it out. So I'm hoping that happens too. So good for you there, Andrew. I like it. Marvin goes, you might be right. I'm going with Taysom, but Cooper opened it up for Shakir and the Tampa Bay D this week. Might do it might give D-Hop a chance. It might. The extra day helps, of course, because, now he can get a better, understanding of the offense. They're definitely going to give him more snaps. I mean, he only had like 15 or 16 snaps last week. They're definitely going to get him more involved. He's definitely going to step into that Rice role. He is not the same as Rice in any shape, way, or form. He definitely has lost a step, but he still has really good hands, really good at what he does overall. So they're definitely going to do their best to get him involved as much as possible. So I don't hate it, but I love Taysom today. I just do. But that's only if it's like tight end premium or a scenario where you can use him. Like I'm using him in Scotty Fishbowl. I can't not play him in that because that's tight end premium times 2 or times 3 technically. So yeah, in those scenarios, I'm definitely playing Taysom, but he's really good if you have a situation like Kittle being out or something like that, and you need a replacement, things like that. Marvin goes, Darnold or Kirk? Ooh, this is a tougher one for me. I really do love Kirk today, just because I love the matchup overall. Trayvon Diggs doesn't scare me. I have Kirk at 7 in my rankings, Darnold at 8. For me, the tiebreaker, I'm going to look at their particular matchups against Cowboys are 27th. The Colts are 22nd. You can pretty much flip a coin here, in my opinion. I really do like both today. I do like I lean Kirk just because he has better options overall. I think he has a better, offense. But it's in a dome. I'll add that to the equation. Vikings are in a dome, so they're both in a dome. 47 point over under, 52 point over, or 51.5 point over under. Let me see if that's changed. No, 51.5 over under. Atlanta favored. I'm gonna go Kirk here. This is a tough one. Thank you, Marv. I love when I have to really think about it. But yeah, I do like that particular option. Yeah. Let me see. So Marcus goes, which tight end would you trade for rest of season, Hawk or Ingram? Ingram. 100%. Well, I don't hate Hawkinson. I just love Ingram more. Just always been an Ingram fan. I'm a Giants fan, as you can all see here. And I've always just been a big fan of his in general. I think I'm going to go with Ingram rest of the season if you're going to have to go for somebody. Sean Kitchell, what's going on, brother? Great to have you here. If you haven't already, please make sure, if you guys are new to the show, like and subscribe. Like I said, we're here 7 days a week now. So check us out. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the show. Want to help you guys out. Look at that. Marvin Allen, go Giants. I love it. Another Giants fan in this house. Sean goes, Jacobs or Connor today? Man, this is a good one. I like both. Jacobs is right now. Jacobs is a little banged up. They're going against the best or second best against the running back. They are at home. It's going to be a sloppy game. It's going to be rainy and wet. It's going to be windy. I think they're going to have to run the ball, short yardage, short passes, things like that. Connor going against the Bears. Bears are 10th best against the running back. I might lean Connor just because he's healthier. That particular scenario, I think he could do well in. 44 point over under. What's the other one? In this case, I think it's a higher over under, but it is, 48. But Arizona favored by a little bit means that they're going to be close. Yeah, I like James Conner here. I'm going to go James Conner over Jacobs. Perry goes, would you start Alexander Madison over Jacobs with the matchup? Probably not. No. Bengals are 11th best against the running back this season. I feel a lot better about the matchup with Jacobs comparatively with Madison. Question above with Jacobs and Connor. Connor's on the same tier as Jacobs and maybe even a step higher. I just feel better about Connor. Madison is like 3 steps below Jacobs, in my opinion. So I'm going to go with Jacobs. Worm in the house. He goes Tyrone Tracy or Jacoby Myers, full PPR. That's a good one. I like that one. I'm going to lean Tyrone Tracy just because I do like the matchup for him overall against the Commanders. They do well against passing running backs, but they are very porous with running the ball up the middle, if that makes sense. And Tyrone Tracy is not scared to run that ball right up their throat. He's been showing he's been doing well in that particular scenario. He will get involved. He's been 60%, snap share in the last few weeks. He's been over 14 fantasy points the last, I think, 3 out of 4 games that he's been the starter and will continue. I think they're going to use Singletary a little bit more to spell him just a smidge. But overall, yeah, no, I'm going to go Tyrone Tracy. I do like Jacoby Myers a lot because of volume, but I prefer Tyrone Tracy. So Marvin goes, go Giants. Team's looking good. I do like the team. I'm liking the Giants, a little more. This is going to be a fun matchup overall. I think Commanders have had a couple of really good wins the last few weeks and have lucked out. But now, going against us, I think it's going to be a fun game overall. Marcos goes Tillman, Judy, or Coker. I knew I was going to get a Coker question today. Full PPR. Need one to replace Cooper. I think Tillman's probably your best bet overall. Just he has the higher upside of everybody in this group. He's going to have a tougher matchup against Asante Samuel. So this is probably the last week you can use him in confidence compared to other weeks. But Chargers are the best against running wide receivers this year. Coker, man, the guy's been coming out of nowhere in the last few weeks. So I understand his particular why people like him so much. I wouldn't play Coker if you can get him on your bench. I'd do it and just wait and see how it goes. Tillman, I think, is probably your best bet to replace Cooper in this scenario. Andrew goes, should I play Darnold or Geno this week? Ooh, I like that. I'm probably going to play Darnold overall. Let's look at this matchup overall. Yeah, Rams are 15th. Colts are 22nd. I think I'm going to go Darnold here. They can exploit that matchup pretty well. I think Darnold is overall, just a great quarterback and can really play well. So I'm going to go Darnold. Can't go wrong when you have Justin Jefferson as your guy. And Geno is without, some other real big key pieces here. Super CNB Challengers, what's going on? Great to have you a part of the show today. If you haven't already, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the show if you haven't. He goes, yo, I need a running back and a flex full PPR. Who would you start? Chase Brown, Hubbard, Jacobs, or Downs? Okay, so for 100% sure, I'm playing Chase Brown. I moved Chase Brown. I think I had Chase Brown at I think I had him in to start the week at running back 30. I've got him all the way up to running back 15 today. So I do like him a lot. Him and Jacobs are right next to each other, but the tiebreaker for me in this case is going to be injury. So I'm going to go Chase Brown here. And then for the flex, I feel I like Hubbard a lot, but I'm going to go Josh Downs here. Really love the matchup. I think Flacco increases his value more than you can expect. I do like Brown and Downs for these, for those particular spots. And it's great that you have great depth at running back. I do like Hubbard. He's been heavily involved. This is probably going to be one of the few weeks that, you're going to be able to use him without having to worry about a guy like Jonathan Brooks behind him. Brooks is going to get eased in. Remember, he hasn't 21 days from being activated. They're pushing it all the way till the 21st day. So it makes me think that they're pretty happy with Hubbard and what he's been doing. So I think they're going to ease Jonathan Brooks in. They're not going to just throw him out there and run him 30 times, have him have a 60% snap share right away. It's going to take a few weeks. But I do like Chase Brown this week. I do like Joshua Downs. So those are the two I would go with. Marvin Allen goes Darnold, Kirk, Barkley, Henry, A-Chain, Chubb, Debo, Higgins, Shakir, D-Hop, Kincaid, Taysom, Bears D, and Scheibert for kicker. Nice. I like it. Oh, of course, Super. That's what I'm here for, man. Here to help with anything you guys need. I'm here every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. To help you guys with your last-second start-sit questions, as well as actives and inactives. Give you all the news and notes leading up to game time. Well, not up until game time. I usually get out of here by 12:30 based on the chat. So the longer you guys throw your questions in here, the longer I'll be here. Marvin Allen goes, I need another wide receiver. One, Rice got hurt, and I accidentally dropped Sutton. No, you can't drop Sutton. I like Sutton. But this team, yeah, you're going to need wide receiver depth here. You can probably trade off. Man, this one's tough. You're probably going to have to trade off guys like Henry and Chubb for someone like that. Or, Henry straight up for somebody else. I probably wouldn't. I mean, full PPR, I might. Man. Yeah, I don't know who you would have to trade for here. I mean, you could probably get Lamb for, guys like Barkley, but I don't think you want to give up Barkley. Man. Yeah, you definitely need some wide receiver depth, or a stronger wide receiver for that particular team. Yeah, that's a rough matchup. Ronald in the house going, Mikey likes it. He really likes it. Yeah, I know I say that a lot. I gotta stop saying that. Believe me, I catch myself sometimes saying stuff. My wife will make fun of me after certain things and be like, "Could you say too many more times?" Yeah, I gotta stop doing that. Getting some last second actives and inactives. Tommy Tremble is going to be out today for the Panthers. No one that we care about for them. We already listed those guys. Anybody else? Nope. Sorry, just checking all my news and notes. Want to make sure you guys have the best options available. All right. So please make sure you guys throw your questions in the chat if you haven't already. Please also, if you like betting and you get, or I wouldn't say betting, if you guys like, pick them and picking against, certain yardages and stuff for your players that you have in fantasy, make sure you guys check out Underdog. They have great pick 'em. Their lines for their players are great. Me and Kendall do a pro pick 'em thing every day or every Friday, and we go against. We basically give you our picks for those games, and then we let you know how we did. Last week I was 3 for 7 with one push, so I roughly 4 overall. But make sure you guys are checking out checking out Underdog Fantasy. Really great site. You can pick higher or lower for players' stats. Use promo code GetRight, and they will help you at checkout in states, of course, that have Underdog in it. So make sure you guys are checking them out. Gabriel, what's going on, man? He goes wide receiver, Lad McConkey or Cortland Sutton. I like both these. I like both these guys today. For me, full PPR, I'd probably go Lad. Half PPR, I might go Cortland. But I think Lad is probably your best bet. Ronald goes, it's actually a reference to an old Life Cereal commercial. But it's funny. I do say that a lot. It's kind of funny. Ray W, what's going on? He goes, Mike, Jaden Reed, Calvin Ridley, or Worthy, full PPR. I might lean Ridley, and it's really more because of the weather in this particular case. They're going to be using him very short. It's hard to throw. I mean, it's 50-mile-an-hour gust with rain, scattered rain throughout the game. Ridley is currently, they're playing the Patriots at home. Mason Rudolph changes things a little bit for me and makes it a better matchup. And he's been playing well. Worthy's out of the equation. I don't play Worthy. He could get 2 touches for 2 touchdowns. But that's it. They haven't really ramped him up to the point where I feel comfortable playing him on a weekly basis. I'm still going to lean. I mean, overall, Reed is probably ranked higher, but I like Ridley just a smidge better. Let me see where I have them ranked. I have. Oh, and for those that had the question with Keon Coleman, I'd probably be bumping up Keon Coleman in a lot of situations. Just with Cooper being out, I would definitely do that. Yes, Ray, I am aware that Love is playing. Let's be fair. And I'm gonna give you this particular scenario. It is a wet field. Yes, they should have the right cleats on. Yes, they should have everything go the right way. If he slips just a little bit, he could re-aggravate that groin injury real quick. I would not feel comfortable playing him, playing guys like Reed and Dobbs unless I was absolutely necessary, just because you never know. Slick field, not sure. So I'm a little bit nervous about that. Swift or Tracy? Oh, Lord. You having me pick against my team? No, I can't. I'm going to be objective here. Cardinals are pretty bad against the run overall, 27th against running backs. I'm going to probably be leaning Swift here regardless. I do love Tracy a lot. I think he is doing very well in that particular offense. But right now, I have Tracy at 19. I have Swift at 13. So I'm going to go with Swift here. Definitely going to go Swift. Jacob, I didn't forget about you. I saw you. Just figured I'd give you, there was an easier one. You had a longer question. Cooper and Higgins got me in a bind. Hey, man, so does everybody else. Should I start Jordan Addison or go with the wire and pick up Slayton, Bateman, Cooker, or Demarcus Robinson? I know it's rough. Jordan Addison isn't a bad pickup. I do like, if you have Addison on your team, I like Addison. I think it's just better to go that way. If you have room to add Coker, it's not a horrible move. I think Bateman is hard to play this week. Slayton, I don't hate at all, but it's hard to trust. He's been a lot more used lately. But I think Addison is a good add overall. I think Hawkinson coming back is going to take a little bit away from him. But they will be using him pretty often. So, yeah, I'm going to go, in this case, Jordan Addison for sure. We're going to go Swift, but get Tracy in the flex if you can. Yeah, I agree. I think that could be a interesting situation for them overall. KJ, what's going on? He goes, won't Coleman see a lot of Ramsey? Yeah, but has Ramsey done anything to really warrant anything good lately? I haven't seen anything that's really scared me with Ramsey. Yeah, they're third best against the wide receiver this year, but they're going to try to get him involved. But I think the way that you beat the Dolphins in this case is you're going to run the ball. So I think maybe Coleman might not be a great play, but you can play him. I think he's in a scenario where you can pretty much, if you were having some issues with like your fourth running back or something like, or fourth wide receiver in a flex spot or something like that, I could play Coleman. But it's all situational based. So Denzel Barnett, what's going on, man? He goes, Chubb, Chestnut, if he is the only Titan running back, Coker or Leggett, or Rico Dottle. Yeah, I'm going to have to ask you the same question there, Denzel. Is this standard, half, full PPR? Let me know what type of league this is. I don't hate Chubb today, but I do like Leggett if it's full PPR. If it's half PPR, I'd probably lean Chubb. Chestnut is, he's not a horrible option, but you do have Tony Pollard who is playing today. So he doesn't get the full backfield. So let me know, Denzel, if you're still watching. Let me know the type of league so I can help you out. Ray goes, White, Mostert, now that Brian Robinson is out. I'm going to go Rashad White. I like his usage as of late. His matchup sucks. Overall, Bills are probably better. Let me see. Yeah, Bills are a better situation. So it's so hard for me to go Mostert, and I think A-Chain's going to eat a little bit more than Mostert. This one's tough. They're both flex options, in my opinion. Full PPR leans White just because of his being able to be used in the passing game, and that's mainly how he's been doing well. His rushing yardage and rush attempts have sucked. His production just running the ball has been more, porous. I think he's like 2 yards per carry or something like that, but his passing prowess is good. So better matchup overall for Mostert, but it isn't going to be as involved. HN has really taken over when it comes to snaps. He's pretty much, let me get my numbers for you. So this is the snap leaders. Let me get the numbers real quick. So the last few weeks for Miami, Mostert it's roughly a 60-40 split. The last it's been 60-40 throughout the year. Even with him back, Mostert only had 1 week where he outsnapped A-Chain, and it was when he got hurt. And then after that, nope. So A-Chain has a grip on that. I'm going to go with White, even though it's a 3-headed monster. If Bucky doesn't play, you have a good play. But I do think that White can be involved in that game, especially since the over-under for that particular game is 45 with Kansas City leading with their 9-point favorites. Yeah, I'm going to go White. So in another league, you have Mostert, Dottle, or Bucky. Full. I'm gonna go Dottle here, just because he just has more command of the backfield. So Ray, I don't think we did. I hope not. That's the whole point of this. I'm kidding, but no, I don't know if we should have it. Give me 1 second. Let me check my math here. Just because I don't want to be the guy that kind of tells you one thing and says another. But interesting. Yeah, I don't see it either. We should. Always. You know what? I'm gonna ask Rasta about that. Interesting. Not there for you guys either. Well, I don't control that part of it. It's a little weird. All right. I'll talk to Rasta because, yeah. Thanks, Ray. I always appreciate that, brother. We always appreciate any help. He goes, Tillman, Mooney, or Waddle. Full. I'm going Mooney. Hard to go against that guy, man. Mooney's had a great season. Wide receiver 13 on the year. I know Tillman's only recently have gotten involved, but I do like the matchup against the Cowboys. I'm going Mooney, and it's not even hard to do that. Give me 1 sec to help you guys out. All right. Oh, you also have London in that one. Hey, man, it's a 52-point over/under in that game. It's hard to not be a part of that particular, not to want points in that particular group. Yeah, I'm gonna still go Mooney. Tillman's then. If you're gonna have me kind of rank it, it's Mooney, Tillman, Waddle for me. But I like Mooney in that spot. He's still involved in its full PPR. So you get the two best options on a team. You have Drake London, who's wide receiver 6 currently, with Mooney is 13. I don't blame you. They pass it enough that it doesn't really matter, to be fair. Kirk Cousins has been passing the ball like over 30, I think, each week. So I'm okay with playing, playing 2 wide receivers on the team that can afford to do it. Let me see. So the last few weeks, yeah, he's over 30 in 4 of his last 8. And he only had less because they were beating Tampa Bay last week, so he only got 29. But overall, he gets right up to that 29 mark in each of the games. Yeah, I'm still gonna go Mooney here. Rafi, what's going on? Yeah, it's Downs by a good tier or more. I'd say 2 tiers. Downs to me this week, I moved Downs from he was 40 to I moved him up to let me see. I moved him to 22, if not higher. I'm probably going to move him up to no, I like him where he's at based on what I see. But yeah, I'm probably going to be playing Downs in 99% of my scenarios. We had someone drop Downs in one of our leagues, and I went, holy crap, I pretty much wasted all my fab left and grabbed them. So yeah. 3P, I see fail. What's going on, man? He goes, Gino or Flacco today? That's a great question. I'm going to go Flacco. And then PPR, I'm going to probably lean Tillman here. I do like JSN in this particular matchup, though, against the Rams. Rams are currently, let me give you the number, because I remember Rams are 11th best against the wide receiver, which doesn't say too much. There are a poorest defense, 72 overall out of 100. Yeah, I'm still going to go Tillman. It's a rougher matchup for him, but I don't hate it. I think this is going to be your last week. So Rafi goes, I figured I just toss it out as a threshold since you were discussing Tillman. Hey, I appreciate that. Always a pleasure. Ron agreeing with me. Don't trust Gino with his number one. Yeah, it's tough. Joe Freeland, what's going on, man? He goes full PPR. Pick 2, Brian Robinson Jr., JSN, Myers, Sutton. Nice. If Thomas wasn't injured, I'd be emphatically telling you Thomas without thinking, and I think you would too. I think the next guy for me is JSN out of this grouping. Sutton's a close third here. I think I'm going to go Thomas and Myers. Ronald goes Myers and Sutton. So, yeah, I like Thomas. It's hard to sit the guy, especially if he's playing. Now, the caveat to that is at least you have JSN available. If Brian Thomas is out, you can switch him. So it would be Brian Thomas and Myers for me, and then I would put in JSN if Brian Thomas is out. So at least you have that. Joe also asks, Chargers or Tennessee? I don't mind Tennessee's defense. I think I'm going to go Tennessee. Over under 38 keeps the game tight. It makes it where, less points are scored overall. Chargers game, they're favored, but not by a lot. I'm going to go with the Titans for this particular matchup. Yeah, I agree with Ronald here. This week, Tennessee long-term Chargers look a lot better overall. George Play goes 2 wide receivers in a flex, non-PPR. All right, Brian Thomas, Hopkins, Waddle, DJ Moore, JSN, Bigsby, or Bucky. All right. I want to say Hopkins for the wide receiver and DJ Moore. Those are the 2 that I like. No, you know what? I'm going to go Waddle, DJ Moore as the wide receivers that I like for touchdowns, because non-PPR, you're looking for the touchdown upside comparative to everything else, and overall yardage too. But DJ Moore and Waddle can do that. Flex, since it's non-PPR, I'm going to lean the running back, which would be Bigsby in this case. Just a better matchup overall, so I'm going to go Bigsby here for sure. So I'm going to go Waddle, Moore, and Bigsby for non. Yeah, you got to go now. You got to go Bigsby in that particular scenario. So please throw your questions in the chat. I will answer them as we go. I'll probably be getting out of here until, unless we have more questions. If there's more questions, I'm here. But make sure you guys throw those questions in the chat. Latest I'll be here is 12:30. So make sure you guys have those in. I got to get my teams all situated as well. I got a lot of matchups that I got to kind of take an extra minute and look at because, it's that time of day, man. I want to make sure all my lineups are perfect and I'm ready to go against my opponents, especially Neanderthal, who's watching. I got you this week, even though that my team in that league sucks. I need to do better in that league. But so many people on the waivers today, this morning. No one's on the waivers until right now for that league. Really funny. But Neanderthal has me by 5 points right now. Projected to beat me. He had Mixon going against me against Houston and CJ Stroud, which was a rough day overall. So I'm gonna play. No, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave my lineups the way they are. I'm not gonna touch anything. I've learned that tinkering with your lineup prior to game time is a very bad idea. You should know everything going in. You should have everything pretty good. Normally, I tell people, don't tinker. Don't be ruxing. Don't do tinker stinkers. Just wait and see how it goes. Non-PPR, pick 2. Interesting. Donald, Tracy, or Dobbins? This one's a tough one for me. Not going to lie. I like all 3 of these guys in one way or another. Washington is 19th. You have Dobbins going against Browns that are 7th. And you have the Falcons who are at the where are they? Falcons are 8th. So you have good matchups for all of them. I'm going to lean what Ronald says with Dobbins and Tracy. I do like Donald just because of his volume, just because he has the opportunity, but his matchup stuff. So I think I'm going to go Tracy and Dobbins here as well. So Rafi goes full PPR, Ferguson or Kelsey. Then the loser of that for a flex against Singletary and ETN. I think I'd play both, to be honest, Ferguson and Kelsey. I don't trust ETN coming back. He's still injured. I don't think I would do it. I think I would go Ferguson and Kelsey and just roll with the full PPR. I feel okay about that scenario, but he is going to be going against either Justin Simmons or Jesse Bates. And if you're playing IDP, I'd be loading up Jesse Bates if you don't, or if you aren't already. So 3P, 1C fail. Bo Nix or Stafford? Absolutely love this question. So last week I told you guys you should be playing Bo Nix over a guy like Baker. Baker had a good day, but Bo Nix had a better day. He did have a career day. So let's just be clear about that. Ravens are currently 30th against the QB. Stafford is going against the Seattle Seahawks, who are 19th best. Seattle has a little bit of a better D. Passing game could be good for Bo, but his rushing floor is higher than Stafford. Puka playing kind of increases Stafford just a smidge for me. So you get your full complement of weapons. I have Stafford and Bo Nix right next to each other at 13 and 14. Tiebreaker for me is probably going to be the rushing yardage. So that would be Bo Nix. So I have them back to back in my rankings. For those that always, if you guys want to see my rankings, they are forever changing up till game time, but they are posted at getrightff.com. Make sure you guys check out our website. We have great stuff on there. We have our rankings. We do have some swag on there for you guys as well. If you guys are looking to buy, some t-shirts, some, hoodies or travel mugs, things like that. We have great options on our website. So make sure you guys check out getrightff.com. Really good site. Frank takes care of that for us. But yeah, I'm going to go Bo Nix here. Yeah, I do like playing 2 tight ends. One of my leagues is bully tight end. Love the tight end group overall. So I do tend to move in that direction. Neanderthal, we are playing in the Hooray Beer League, the one league that me and you are together in. I don't think you realize that, or unless it's not you. And I always thought it was you because it's a Raiders, but it's 4th and 20. I believe I'm playing, and I believe that's you. If your real name is Chris, I am playing you. Cody, what's going on? My goat's in the house. Mike, you going Jalen Tolbert or Elijah Moore at the flex? Also, I was offered Lamar for a for 25th and 26th first plus a 26th second in Superflex League. Yeah. Wait. I was offered Lamar for. So you're giving up your 2 firsts and a second. Oh, I thought that was you. I thought I was playing you. Sorry, Neanderthal. He go. Oof. So let's go with the first one. Elijah Moore, I'm going to go with over Jalen Tolbert. You were also offered Lamar for. Okay. So my question to you is if you're a contender and you're looking for a QB, yes. If you are anything less than 2-6 or anything like that, I would probably not go that route. I would probably stick with your picks and roll into next year. That's a little bit high for Lamar, in my opinion. A first and a second should do fine. A 25 and a 26 second feels a lot safer. Ooh. Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do it. You have decent quarterbacks at the moment. I understand Lamar, but you have decent quarterbacks. You're giving up a ton. You're still in a position where you could either basically, if you made that trade, it's all in, and you would have to. You're screaming. You're trying to get into the playoffs. This is the safer play for sure in Dynasty. But being in fourth is not guaranteed. And it's also based on how many teams get in. If there's 6 teams in, you're already in. Don't worry about it. If you're 4 teams, then you're definitely going to need a little bit more juice. But I think with Love, Tua, and Gino, I think you can get by for now. I would not make that trade right now. That's a lot for Lamar, in my opinion. So, but it is super flex, so I understand. I thought so. I was gonna say, but I always see the Raiders and I always think you. So yeah, for sure. Love and Tua are definitely long-term starters. Lamar's up there in age comparatively to Love and Tua. I think you're gonna be just fine with who you have, especially dynasty wise. So you'll do fine. All right, boys and girls, make sure you guys are throwing your questions in the chat. I'm only going to be here for another 12 minutes or so. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, check out our affiliate podcast here, the Fantasy Football Tavern with Kendall. If you want cold beer, hot takes, check out Kendall on the Fantasy Football Tavern, as well as Phil Ruskin at the Extra Point. Hey, somebody's got to kick the extra point. Phil will help you guys out with a lot of your dynasty and DFS questions, as well as prop bets and things like that on Thursdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays. And then, of course, the Tycoon himself in the fantasy boardroom. Make sure you guys check out Tycoon. And also keep, right now, Cody Magotes had his first show yesterday. Make sure you guys check out Cody and Zach at the Sweet Life. They are every Saturday, so check them out. Really excited to have them here. Really great to have you here, Cody. Hope you guys like the logo. Made that too. So make sure you guys check them out over there at the Sweet Life. And make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to their show. Oh, I didn't forget you, my friend. I always like showing off my logos. If you guys are, I'll throw this out there for people that are, looking to start a channel or anything like that. If you guys ever need help with something like that, don't hesitate to reach out. My Twitter handle is right here. So if you have Twitter or Sleeper, always you can reach out to me on those. If you're looking for a little bit of help on your podcast for like a logo or something like that, I can definitely get you in the right direction. Not currently charging anybody at the moment, but I wouldn't mind a few bucks for those particular scenarios. I do make a lot of really good, logos at the moment. Definitely want to make it a thing at one point. I'm too nice of a person to ask for money. But at one point, I definitely will want, some type of compensation at one point. But definitely will work with anybody and, make it yours. I always will take a particular scenario. I made Phil's recently with the Extra Point. I made a couple others for a couple podcasts. The Bridging the Gap or Bridge the Gap for Dustin Ludick, who I've had on here before. and also Cody's as well. I also made one for a good buddy of mine, good old Jeezy. He'll be coming on here soon, hopefully. But yeah, other than that, if you guys ever have any questions about that, let me know. Ray goes, Knicks or Mahomes? You may have answered. I did not answer this question. I have Mahomes ranked at 11. I have Bo Nix ranked at 14. I think this is a game that Patrick can get back from. It's hard for me to tell you to play Patrick over Nix, but Patrick Mahomes has had a rough season, man. I mean, he is currently, I think, he is currently QB 21, where Bo Nix is QB 10. I think I would play Nix just because of his rushing floor. Of course, we saw, Patrick run for the first time, and, he had one of his better games last week, putting up 19 points. But that's been his best week, is 19 points. Right now, Patrick Mahomes is more of a steady option than he is a, QB1 guy where he's constantly blowing out teams and doing well. Bo has had a little bit of an up and down season, but he's had 3 games over 20 points. Last week, he had his best game against Carolina, which, not hard to go against Carolina and have a good day. But Nick's going against Baltimore. This will be a huge test for him this week. The wide receiver, the cornerbacks being out can definitely help his scenario. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Getting news that Jonathan Brooks is expected to make his debut next week. So if you have Chuba, this might be the best week, just because he might not be there after that. I already got that message put across. All right. So let me get to Untamed Music real quick. Hold on one sec. Also know for the Bears, Stevenson, the cornerback, is going to be disciplined for the concept of what happened in that game against the Commanders, where he pretty much went to the sideline, rooted everybody to, haha, we're winning. And then all of a sudden, that. So, wow, Marvin Harrison Jr. or Joshua Downs, half PPR. I'm going to go with Downs. I love Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's a great asset. A lot of people are going to have him ranked higher just because he's the number one. But you could definitely argue the concept that Downs is the number one for the Colts in this particular matchup. Overall, the Vikings are currently, where are they? Vikings are currently 20th against the wide receiver this year. Oh, sorry, that's QB. My bad. Got to look up the right numbers here. Minnesota is last against the wide receiver, so this is a smash matchup for Downs. Chicago is, I think, like number 9. Jalen Johnson, if you haven't heard of him, you should. The guy is a top 5 corner. He should be a lot higher. He's up there with Patrick Surtain. I don't think people realize that either. A lot of teams throw away from him. I'm telling you now, it's a really good matchup. Yeah. Wow. So you're going around asking people. Yeah, you're pulling. I don't blame you, brother. It's a tough one. I'm going Downs in this matchup. 20 when it's such a big divide in the matchup versus that particular position, you're getting Flacco at QB. Downs has put up over 100 every time that he's had Flacco at quarterback. I can't not do that. The Bears are very good against the wide receiver this year. So I'm glad you're on my side. So I definitely feel good about Downs in this matchup. I picked up Downs. I pretty much wasted all my fab. I should have I should have waited on my particular how much I put in. I think I only had like $29 left, and I put in like 28, and the guy below me put 15. So I'm very glad that I ended up getting him, but I ended up wasting a lot on him. So definitely very bullish on Downs today. Better flex play: Javonte Williams, Taysom Hill, Deontay Johnson, Coker, or Elijah Moore, or Joshua Palmer. Full PPR. Wow. So I'm going to take Deontay and Coker out of the equation. Love Deontay Johnson as a player. Still getting accommodated 15 snaps at the most if he does get that. Getting him out of that. I do like Javonte Williams, but the caveat, Ravens are pretty good against the running back overall. Mike Pierce is out, which is huge. He's one of their biggest run stoppers. I don't like telling you to flex a guy like Taysom Hill. It's hard for me to do something like that, to be honest. Elijah Moore has a better matchup. Yes, the Chargers are good against the wide receiver this year, but Asante Samuel Jr. won't be shadowing him. They're going to be shadowing good old Cedric Tillman. So for me, it's Javonte and Elijah Moore. I usually try to lean the running back if he's involved in the passing game. But he's not as heavily involved in the passing game in this scenario. I can't trust Deontay, can't trust Cooker. Moore's okay. And then, Joshua Palmer is going to be having Denzel Ward for that game. I don't want to tell you to play Taysom Hill. I like Taysom Hill a lot, KJ, this week. I just have a feeling, Jamal Williams out, Kendrick Miller out. They don't have any other running backs that really, scare me. They've been using him a lot more at running back in general. Yes, he's a tight end, but they use him at running back a ton. They're favored by They're favored by 7 in this matchup. Interdivision matchups, he tends to do well against. It just feels like a Taysom day. That's just the feeling I have. But I don't hate Javonte Williams. I do like him a lot. But yeah, I'm going to say Javonte, but I'm going to rank it as Javonte, Taysom, and then Elijah Moore in that order. So do with it as you will. But yeah, I'm giving you all I can for that particular scenario. Joe Ortiz, with weather being bad for the Detroit game, would you sit Amon-Ra St. Brown for Pittman? Probably not. I don't think I could sit him. But Vikings are porous against the wide receiver. It's one of those scenarios that I don't want to tell you guys to sit your stud in this case. I understand the weather is sometimes a factor, but Jared Goff does not play well in outdoor weather. It's just proven. We looked at all the stats and he doesn't play that well. I'd prefer maybe playing, Pittman's not a horrible option against this matchup. Like I said, 32nd against the wide receiver this year for the Vikings, and Flacco at the helm makes me feel a lot better about it. Indoors, no weather concerns, Sunday Night Football. I don't hate the option if you had to do it. I don't think in any world that I live in that I would be doing that. If I had those two options, I don't feel like I would do that if it was my team. Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't think I would do it, but I understand why you need to. No problem, KJ. That's what I'm here for. Untame, you lucky bastard. Getting him at $6. I'm jealous. Got him for 28. Martin Costello, what's going on, brother? He goes, Tracy or Coleman? 9 times out of 10, I'm going to tell you the running back. Just because they're more guaranteed to touch. Coleman is going to be going against Jalen Ramsey. That matchup is not the best for him. Wide receivers against the particular Dolphins are 3rd best in the league currently. That defense is very good against the wide receiver. I think they're going to run it a little bit. They want to keep Tua off the field, keep Tyreek off the field. So I think I'm going to go with Tyrone Tracy here. Love Tracy. I think he'll do fine. Ortiz goes, yeah, Saints Don't have Olave and Kamara and Johnson. Hill not that good of a play in my opinion. Oh, you're saying do have. Yeah, because Olave is playing Kamara Johnson. Hill not that good of a play. Yeah, I understand it, but they try everything they can when he's healthy to get him involved. I always just have that inkling. If it's tight end premium, you're playing Taysom Hill. If it's not tight end premium, I would definitely be going with, Javante, maybe Coker, but it's hard to trust that scenario. I don't know what's going on in the Panthers offense where, Coker is now involved. Oh, you're being sarcastic? Oh, you're okay. I get it. I can't afford a dud from. Yeah, no, I can understand that, Joe. It's tough. That scenario is a tough one. It could be a low scoring game. They are predicting currently it's at 48, so it's like I think the third highest on the slate. Bills are the second highest. I mean, these are two division teams that are looking for a playoff. Um, I mean, it's kind of hard to not play Amon-Ra St. Brown in this one. So, but if you are going to sit him, Pittman's not a bad option. I try. This question's hard for me. It really is and I appreciate you liking what I have to say. I mean, I would have a tough time with this one as well, but it's hard to not play your stud that's Brown. I mean, it would take a lot for me to want to do that. Yeah, Jared Goff sucks in the bad weather. Yes, it will be bad weather. That doesn't mean that it's going to, take Amon-Ra out. Yeah, because you're going to sit there and hate yourself when you see Pittman go all, Pittman have like a 14-point game and Amon-Ra gets like 5. Like I understand that concept. It's just so hard to sit a guy like Amon-Ra in those scenarios. Sometimes you have to. But I don't know if this is the game that you do it. It's just the other part of it. If Jair's there, I know they don't normally, Jair doesn't really shadow anybody. That's another part of it. Vikings don't have anybody that scares me over there. He goes, I mean, I'm not taking Reed out of the same game in my Dynasty League. Yeah, Reed, you can't take out for certain, if you're in a scenario with Reed's going to be used a lot underneath and in the backfield. So they're going to use him a lot more in a gadget scenario, which means he'll touch the ball a little bit more. Josh Jacobs is hurt. Then we're going to definitely get him more involved in the run game. You might see a little bit more of Emmanuel Lewis in this game. Just because they're going to want to run the ball, keep the they're going to want to keep the Lions off the field. So I think that this game is going to be a little bit slower than what people think. I would be probably taking the under for this game, at 48, just because I think they're going to try to slow it down a little bit. So yeah, it's one of those things where you got to kind of, weigh your options here. I'm playing Pittman in a matchup in the flex that I have to. It's him, Coleman, or a few other guys. Who do I have to pick from? Like in one league, I have Pittman, and it's either Deontay Johnson, who I'm not doing, Keon Coleman, Jerry Jeudy, or Leggett. I'm playing Pittman over those guys. Wandell, I'd probably play him over as well. But then if I'm playing a guy like Wandell, do I play Wandell over Leggett? I probably would. Just because I like how he's been, used in recent weeks. So yeah. Oh wow. So Jermaine Burton, the reason why he's out, he missed the walkthrough on Saturday. Crazy. Ray goes, I put Dowdle in for Mostert last minute. Hate doing that. Dallas is suck hot vomit. I love hearing that. I love my Giants fans on Sunday, man. I love that. So yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap things up. I am well past my time that I normally am here. It's 12:35 out here on the East Coast. I'm going to go get ready for the Giants game. Giants are playing the Legacy game out in MetLife, so go Giants. Everybody else, I hope everyone has a wonderful week 9. We will see you guys tomorrow with our waiver wire ad show with Frank and Rasta. They'll help you guys get set up for next week in week 10. And then on Tuesday, we got Tycoon in the Fantasy Boardroom, as well as Wednesday, we have our buy low, sell high show with Frank and Rasta, as well as good old Phil in the Extra Point. He will be doing his Dynasty show. Then on Thursday, Phil's back doing his extra, part of the Extra Point, doing his DFS and prop bets. Then Friday, we have our 2 shows at 9 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Eastern. We have our 2 shows for Start Sit. And then, of course, I am back here every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. to help you guys with your last second Start Sit questions. Normally I do DFS, but you guys kept me going all day. So thank you so much for all those in the chat. Good luck to everybody in week 9. We will see you all soon. Peace.
Wanted to write fantasy is the play. Marking off and but